Have you ever noticed that silence isn't really silent? That even in the stillness something hums beneath your skin, behind your thoughts, inside your breath? It's vibration, the invisible pulse that sustains everything, and it never stops. Every word you speak, every thought you repeat, every emotion you feed, emits a frequency that shapes the world around you. You are never neutral. You are always broadcasting. The world is not reacting to what you say. It's responding to what you vibrate. The modern mind forgot this. It was trained to chase outcomes instead of tuning energy. We learn to manipulate form, but not the field that creates it. We rush, scroll, and perform, but we no longer resonate. And so we live exhausted, fragmented, filled with noise. Because the real fatigue of our time is vibrational. It's the weariness that comes from being out of tune with ourselves. When your tone is incoherent, life echoes it back as chaos. When your vibration is divided, your world begins to fracture. The universe is not punishing you, it is mirroring you. Every repeated argument, every emotional loop, every weight you feel when you wake, it's not random, it's resonance. Your field speaking through circumstance. And still, most people try to fix the mirror instead of tuning the string that creates the reflection. They repaint the walls of chaos but never silence the noise within. Control is not power. Control is frozen energy, a vibration that refuses to flow. And what refuses to flow turns to friction. Friction attracts more of itself. That's why the anxious attract more chaos. The bitter attract more resistance. The open attract more flow. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. You think vibration is spiritual talk? Science has already confirmed what Hermeticism knew for millennia. Everything in existence oscillates. Even matter is just vibration slowed down enough to be seen. You are an instrument, a chord of consciousness vibrating inside the harp of the universe. When you are in tune, life harmonizes. When you are out of tune, life distorts. Every cell, every emotion, every belief hums a note, and that note is your true language. Here's the paradox. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Desire only manifests when it vibrates in resonance. Otherwise, it becomes noise. You can repeat affirmations forever, but the universe doesn't hear your words. It hears your frequency. That's why the first initiation is not to speak louder. It is to listen deeper, to hear what your energy has been saying in your silence. Close your eyes. Feel the subtle hum beneath your heartbeat. That is the sound of your being, the frequency before thought. From this moment, every room you enter, every thought you choose, every emotion you hold, tunes or detunes the field around you. The question is not if you vibrate, but how consciously, because even silence vibrates, and what you refuse to feel becomes what life is forced to show you. If this resonance moved something in you, stay, like this video, and subscribe to keep your field connected. Every episode is another tone of the same awakening. You think exhaustion comes from action, but most fatigue is energetic. It's not your body that's tired, it's your frequency, scattered by constant reaction. Every complaint lowers your tone. Every comparison divides your field. Every unprocessed emotion thickens the air around you. And this dissonance, this invisible static, is what keeps you looping in the same patterns. But once you begin to tune your field, everything shifts. The same world, the same people, the same routines begin to respond differently, because reality doesn't respond to form, it responds to frequency. The vibration you emit is the blueprint of what you live. Change the vibration, and the mirror must follow. If you're still here, it's because your field already feels this truth. Join the circle. The first map of vibration awaits in the pinned portal below. Look closer. Every emotion is a note. Every thought is a wave. Every choice a tone in the grand composition of your life. To master vibration is to master creation. To ignore it is to live as a chord out of tune with your own song. The Hermetic masters called this the first law, the bridge between mind and matter, because vibration is not a metaphor. It is the structure of everything you call real. The moment you become aware of it, the illusion of randomness ends. You stop reacting and start resonating. This is the beginning of alignment, the moment when noise becomes harmony and chaos becomes rhythm. But this is only the beginning. You've just started hearing the sound beneath the noise. In the next movement, we'll unveil the hidden mechanism of reality, how thought becomes frequency, and frequency becomes form. Because vibration doesn't ask for belief, it asks for coherence. Everything that exists, from the rhythm of galaxies to the beating of your heart, vibrates. Each frequency carries information, and that information becomes structure. The Hermetic masters called this the law of vibration, the foundation upon which all other laws rest. It is not poetry, it is architecture. Reality is not solid, it is symphonic. The table, the tree, the thought, all of them are different speeds of the same vibration. Matter is simply energy condensed, and consciousness is the conductor that decides which frequency becomes visible. When you realize this, a door opens. You stop asking why life happens to you and begin to see how it happens through you. Every event, every person, every synchronicity is an echo of your current frequency. The universe does not select randomly. It harmonizes precisely. The invisible becomes visible in waves. First you think, the thought vibrates. Then you feel. The emotion amplifies that vibration. Finally, the world mirrors it as circumstance, thought, vibration, manifestation. This is not mysticism, it is mechanics. If you constantly vibrate at frequencies of fear, guilt, or resentment, you align yourself with realities that match those tones, not because the world punishes you, but because vibration seeks coherence. The field rearranges itself to sustain what you emit. Change the signal and the pattern must follow. Everything you call fate is resonance. Everything you call luck is alignment. Everything you call chaos is interference between frequencies. Your body already knows this language. When someone enters the room and you instantly feel at ease, that's resonance. When someone's presence tightens your chest, that's dissonance. Your nervous system is a vibrational instrument. It listens before your mind understands. You are surrounded by an ocean of frequencies, and every emotion you feed becomes a ripple in that ocean. The Hermetic texts teach that vibration is the bridge between the visible and the invisible. It is what allows thought to condense into form. Before every creation there is vibration. Before every manifestation there is tone. Before every reality there is sound. Sound is the first geometry of the cosmos. Ancient mystics knew this. They chanted sacred syllables not to please a god, but to shape reality through resonance. Modern science proves the same principle. Every atom oscillates. Every cell emits light. Even your DNA sings, releasing tiny electromagnetic notes that respond to emotion and intention. You are a transmitter of worlds. This is why emotions matter. Emotion is not weakness, it's waveform. Each feeling alters the electromagnetic signature of your body. When you feel gratitude, your field expands. When you feel anger, it contracts. When you enter stillness, coherence emerges, and coherence is creation. Imagine your consciousness as a projector. The film is your thought. The light is your vibration. The image on the screen, your life, depends on how pure the vibration is. Distorted light, distorted reality. Clear light, clear manifestation. This is the hidden mechanism of reality. You are not experiencing the world as it is. You are experiencing the world as you vibrate. The external world is not separate from you. It is your echo. Every situation is a reflection of the tone you currently sustain. That is why two people can stand in the same room and live two completely different realities. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. Same space, different frequency. The law of vibration reveals that perception itself is vibrational alignment. Your beliefs tune your consciousness to a specific band of frequencies. You don't see things as they are. You see them as your vibration allows. When you elevate your vibration, your perception expands. When you lower it, your world narrows. This is why growth feels like light. It literally increases the range of frequencies your mind can decode. Every practice of awareness is a tuning act. Meditation, silence, breathing, truth. These are not rituals of escape. They are calibrations. They help you clear interference so the pure signal of consciousness can flow again. The Hermetic initiate learns to become a master of tone, to choose frequency with intention rather than emotion. The mind is the transmitter. Emotion is the amplifier. Action is the crystallization of that vibration into matter. Each level influences the next. To change the external world, you must ascend through the invisible layers that generate it. But most people try to edit the movie while ignoring the projector. They repaint the walls of illusion without changing the source light. That's why nothing lasts, because the vibration remains the same. True change begins not in doing, but in tuning. You cannot think your way into a new life. You must vibrate your way into it. Every moment you are broadcasting a frequency that communicates silently with the field. The field doesn't understand language. It understands resonance. It matches your vibration and reflects it back as experience. That is why complaining attracts more noise and gratitude attracts flow. The field only echoes what it receives. This means the most powerful act you can perform is vibrational awareness. Notice how you feel, not to analyze, but to listen, because how you feel reveals what frequency you are emitting. Awareness is the first act of tuning. When you stop reacting and start listening, the vibration begins to reorganize itself. Stillness is the tuning fork of consciousness. Through it, your fragmented energy gathers back into coherence, and when coherence rises, reality follows. This is how manifestation actually works. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's about becoming the frequency that naturally attracts them. You don't chase alignment. You become alignment. The law of vibration is mercilessly precise. It gives you exactly what you are, no more, no less. Not as punishment, as reflection. Because reality is not happening to you, it's happening from you. The question is not whether the law works. It always does. The question is, are you working with it or against it? When your vibration matches your intention, everything around you begins to move in rhythm. When your vibration contradicts your words, the field remains static. That's why clarity feels like flow, and confusion feels like heaviness. You can't move forward when your tones collide. The wise do not ask for the world to change. They ask for their vibration to align. Because when vibration aligns, the world reorganizes effortlessly. Form bends to frequency. Matter obeys the tone of consciousness. This is the hidden architecture of existence. The universe is not solid. It is sound slowed down, and consciousness is the musician playing it. You are not a separate observer. You are a note in the infinite chord, and every time you remember this, the illusion of chaos dissolves. You begin to live in rhythm with what is true. When you understand vibration, you stop arguing with reality. You stop blaming, fearing, resisting, because you see that everything you experience is communication. Your life is speaking to you in the language of resonance, and once you hear it, you can answer it with clarity, not reaction. The moment you realize this law, power returns. You remember that you are not a victim of frequencies. You are their source. You can tune your tone, refine your energy, alter your field, and by doing that, you rewrite the code of the visible world. Vibration is not belief, it is participation. You participate in the cosmic rhythm every second, whether consciously or unconsciously. To awaken is simply to participate with awareness. When your vibration becomes coherent, you become a beacon. You begin to influence fields, harmonize environments, and elevate everything you touch, not through effort but through resonance. This is the mastery the Hermetic path points toward: to think in harmony, to feel in alignment, to act in coherence, to live as frequency embodied, lucid, ordered, and awake. When you vibrate clearly, you don't force anything. Reality begins to unfold around you with mathematical precision. Synchronicities multiply, resistance fades, and the sense of struggle dissolves into rhythm. Everything around you is sound, waiting for your tone to lead. The question is, will you let your vibration remain accidental, or will you begin to play consciously? If you're still here, it's because this truth belongs to you. Subscribe, because every new principle we uncover is another tone of this same awakening. Now take a breath, feel the vibration in your chest. It is not just life, it is the universe resonating through you, and it has been waiting for you to remember that you are not separate from its sound. You are part of its eternal song. There is a sound inside you that never stops. It hums beneath thought, beneath emotion, beneath identity. It is older than language, older than memory. It is the vibration that makes you alive. You are not separate from the music of existence. You are one of its strings. Every thought plucks you. Every emotion resonates through you, and the tone you sustain becomes the field you inhabit. Most people think vibration is something outside, something cosmic, abstract, unreachable. But vibration begins in the body. It begins in breath, in heartbeat, in muscle, in silence. Your body is not a cage. It is a harp made of light and matter. When you breathe, you tune it. When you move with awareness, you amplify it. When you ignore it, it falls out of tune. The Hermetic master said, "To know the universe, Know the instrument that perceives it. That instrument is you, and its strings are emotion, attention, and intention. Notice this. When you are angry, your body vibrates fast, chaotic, hot. When you are calm, the vibration slows, smooths, clears. When you are grateful, it radiates outward, coherence expanding like light in water. You don't need to see energy to feel it. Energy is what feeling is. The trembling before speaking truth, the contraction when lying, the warmth of love. All of them are tones of the same cosmic instrument. Your nervous system is the bridge between the visible and invisible. It is the translator between vibration and perception. When you tense, you distort the signal. When you relax into awareness, you become a pure transmitter. The law of vibration doesn't just explain the universe, it explains your mood, your health, your relationships. Every interaction is a vibrational exchange. You meet not through words, but through frequency. And that is why energy never lies. People can pretend through language, but their field speaks first. You feel it, the warmth, the tension, the heaviness, the peace. You have always felt it. You just stopped trusting it. Start again. Trust your own resonance, because your intuition is the ear of the soul listening to vibration. When you ignore it, you walk through life deaf to the symphony around you. When you listen, you begin to dance with it. You begin to act at the right time, meet the right people, feel guided, not because something outside controls you, but because you finally hear your own frequency aligning with the universal rhythm. To refine your vibration is not to escape humanity, it is to inhabit it consciously. It is to remember that divinity is not somewhere above the flesh, it lives within it, resonating through every cell. Feel your heartbeat now. It is not random. It follows cosmic tempo. The same pulse that moves galaxies beats inside you. Every breath is an act of resonance between the microcosm and the macrocosm. When you breathe without awareness, life feels mechanical. When you breathe consciously, life becomes symphonic. Every inhale draws the universe in. Every exhale releases your tone back to it. This is the mystery of vibration. You are not in the universe. The universe is vibrating through you. You are the instrument and you are the player. You are the chord and you are the song. Your awareness is the hand that tunes the strings. When you realize this, everything changes. You stop trying to control the world. You start tuning yourself. And by tuning yourself, you begin to change everything around you. Silence becomes sacred, because in silence you can finally hear the truth beneath the noise, the voice of the field, the hum of being, the song of the soul remembering its origin. You have been vibrating all along. Now it is time to play consciously. The law of vibration is not external knowledge, it is embodied wisdom. To live it is to let your entire being become the sound of awareness, and in that sound, everything begins to harmonize again. You are a field of resonance, a living instrument designed to translate vibration into experience. The mind interprets it as thought, the heart amplifies it as emotion, and the body conducts it as movement. Together they form the trinity of creation. When one of these elements drifts out of tune, the whole field trembles. You feel it as confusion, tension, anxiety. But beneath all of that, it's just dissonance. The strings of your inner harp pulling against one another. This is why no amount of outer order can fix inner noise. The universe can only reflect what you vibrate. Until you tune the instrument, every melody of your life will sound slightly off. There is a sacred intelligence hidden in vibration. It doesn't speak in words. It speaks in rhythm, in pulse, in warmth, in stillness. If you slow down enough, you can feel it guiding you. A soft pull toward harmony, a whisper that says, "This way feels true." The problem is that the modern world numbs the ear of the soul. Constant noise desensitizes perception. You scroll, react, rush, and the subtle music of your own being gets lost beneath artificial frequencies. You mistake stimulation for life, forgetting that true vitality hums in silence. Every emotion you suppress becomes a note trapped inside the body. It keeps vibrating there, waiting to be felt, waiting to be released. This is why healing is not thinking differently. It is feeling what was unfelt until the vibration completes its cycle. When you allow it to move, it resolves. Energy only wants to flow. The Hermetic path calls this the art of tuning, the practice of realigning inner frequencies with universal rhythm. It begins in awareness. You listen without judgment to your own field. You sense the low hums of fear, the sharp tones of anger, the soft chords of peace, and with breath and attention you begin to retune. Awareness is the hand that touches the string. Stillness is the key that turns the tension. Love is the tone that harmonizes the entire scale. You don't need complex rituals to change your vibration. The simplest act, breathing consciously, observing without resistance, forgiving sincerely, shifts the entire frequency of your field. The moment you stop fighting what you feel, vibration recalibrates itself. That's how powerful you are. Your permission changes physics. Every emotion honored becomes music again. Every thought witnessed becomes rhythm instead of noise. Every breath accepted becomes coherence returning home. You may think you are a person trying to be spiritual, but you are actually spirit learning to inhabit a person. Your vibration is the bridge between the two, between the infinite and the incarnated. Listen deeper. There is a tone within your chest that never stops sounding. It has no beginning, no end. It is the original hum of existence. It vibrates through your DNA, through your atoms, through the void itself. It is not yours, it is you. This tone connects you to everything. The same frequency that forms stars forms your heart. The same vibration that sustains galaxies sustains your breath. You are not a fragment. You are a frequency of the whole. When you forget this, you feel alone. When you remember, separation dissolves. In that remembrance, peace is not an emotion. It's resonance. It's the recognition that everything you seek has always been vibrating inside you, waiting for you to hear it again. If you want to change your reality, start by listening, not with your ears, but with your entire being. Because when you listen deeply, the vibration begins to organize itself. The noise of fear fades, the distortion of resistance clears, and harmony returns, effortlessly. You can test this truth right now. Think of a moment when you felt truly aligned, alive, present, peaceful. Remember that feeling. Feel it again. Notice how your breath deepens, how your body softens, how the air itself becomes lighter. That is vibration changing in real time. That is creation unfolding from within. Every second, you are either tuning the world through your frequency or letting the world detune you through its static. Consciousness is choice, and every choice is a note that shapes the next measure of your song. The Hermetic initiate does not seek control. He seeks harmony, because control divides, but harmony unites. Control stiffens the string. Harmony lets it sing. Control creates noise. Harmony generates music. When you live harmonically, even difficulty becomes rhythm. Pain becomes percussion. Loss becomes space between notes. And from that space, beauty emerges. Because beauty is order perceived through vibration. This is the essence of the inner harp. To play consciously the instrument of your own being. To know that every heartbeat is a metronome of the cosmos. Every emotion is a tone. Every moment is part of a divine melody unfolding through you. The more you listen, the clearer it becomes. You are never disconnected. You are only out of tune. And all it takes to return is attention. Calm, sincere, aware. Breathe, feel, vibrate. You are the harp. You are the music. And the universe listens through you. There comes a moment when harmony begins to crack. You can feel it. It begins quietly, almost imperceptibly. A small tension inside the chest, a subtle heaviness behind the eyes, the invisible pressure of a vibration that has fallen out of tune. Dissonance rarely arrives as thunder. It begins as static, a low interference between who you are and what you are living. It is the sound of truth clashing with illusion. The law of vibration is mercilessly honest. It mirrors you exactly as you are. When your thoughts contradict your emotions, when your actions betray your words, when your soul whispers one thing and your mind insists on another, the frequencies collide. The result is friction, and friction is pain, not punishment, but feedback, a vibrational alarm that something within has lost coherence. That tension you feel when you lie to yourself, that subtle drain when you say yes while your entire being says no, that is dissonance. It is the universe calling you back into alignment. Every anxiety, every wave of irritation, every repeated conflict is an echo of vibrational friction asking to be resolved. Yet most people numb it, distract themselves, drown it in stimulation, pretending it is not there. They confuse the symptom with the cause, chasing relief while ignoring the static that created it. Modern life feeds on dissonance, the constant noise, the speed, the comparison. They keep your frequency fragmented. You are pulled in 1,000 directions until you no longer know your own tone. Your attention becomes currency. Your energy becomes food for systems that thrive on your incoherence. You scroll endlessly thinking you are resting, but the vibration of artificial rhythm continues to consume your nervous system. You feel busy but empty, connected but unseen, surrounded but profoundly alone. This is not weakness. It is the price of resonance lost. Every time you betray your truth for approval, every time you silence intuition for convenience, your vibration distorts. You split your energy, and that split becomes a magnetic field of confusion. You begin to attract experiences that match that internal division, relationships that mirror inconsistency, opportunities that dissolve before manifesting, emotions that swing between extremes. Dissonance outside is the shadow of dissonance within. Your vibration cannot lie. It speaks louder than words, louder than thoughts, louder than appearances. People feel you before they hear you. The field never hides. You can smile and perform calm, but your frequency tells the truth. The more you hide from yourself, the louder the static becomes. It manifests as fatigue, miscommunication, loss, resistance, until you finally listen. The moment you stop pretending, the friction reveals its message. Realignment. The Hermetic initiates knew this. They called dissonance the nigredo, the black phase of alchemy, where all false notes must burn before harmony can be reborn. The friction is not your enemy. It is the fire that refines. It exposes every vibration that no longer serves the higher resonance you're meant to hold. Every fear, every resentment, every habit of self-betrayal rises to the surface to be tuned again. Yet our instinct is to flee. We call it burnout, crisis, depression. But what if it is initiation? What if every breakdown is simply your energy refusing to vibrate in falsehood any longer? When your old vibration no longer matches your becoming, life begins to collapse around the old tone. Jobs end, relationships fade, desires shift. The outer world rearranges itself to force the inner tuning you resist. Pain, then, is not a curse. It is the sound of recalibration. The friction you feel is consciousness stretching into a new frequency. The mind calls it suffering. The soul calls it transformation. Every tremor of discomfort is the note adjusting, the string tightening, the instrument preparing for a new harmony. If you stop escaping it and start listening, the noise begins to reveal its pattern. Beneath every dissonance, there is hidden order waiting to emerge. You can observe it in your body. The shallow breath, the tightened jaw, the clenched fists. Each is a physical manifestation of inner interference, energy trying to move, but finding resistance. When you bring awareness to the tension, it begins to dissolve. Awareness is the solvent of dissonance. It melts what fear has hardened. That is why silence terrifies most people. Silence makes the static audible. In silence, you cannot hide from your frequency. But silence is not absence. It is amplification. It magnifies what you have been avoiding. That is why the Hermetic path demands courage. To master vibration, you must be willing to hear your own distortion, to face the frequencies that no longer serve you, without judgment, without escape. The moment you face them, you reclaim power, because the moment you name the static, you begin to tune it. Friction is the forge. Every fire that burns you refines you. The louder the static, the closer the harmony that follows, because vibration seeks coherence by nature, and when it finds it, the entire field reorganizes. This is why breakthroughs often follow breakdowns. The collapse of one frequency is the birth of another. You are not being destroyed, you are being retuned. The Hermetic masters taught, all disorder is simply order in transition. Dissonance is not failure, it is transformation in progress. When your frequency begins to rise, the lower harmonics struggle to adjust. The resulting interference feels like chaos, but it is simply evolution. If you resist, the friction persists. If you surrender, the vibration smooths into clarity. Every emotion you fear holds a key. Anger is power seeking truth. Sadness is love seeking movement. Fear is awareness seeking freedom. Each vibration only wants to complete its cycle. The moment you let it flow through, the static turns into sound again. The dissonance becomes music. To live consciously means to welcome friction as feedback, to ask, whenever discomfort arises, what part of me is out of tune? That question transforms pain into teacher. The body answers instantly, through tension, breath, pulse. It tells you where energy is stuck. And when you breathe into that place, you begin to retune from the inside. You are not broken. You are becoming coherent. You are the harp remembering its original note. Each time you allow the friction to reveal its lesson, you vibrate clearer, stronger, truer. The more you face your dissonance, the more powerful your harmony becomes. The path of mastery is not about avoiding noise. It is about hearing it differently. Knowing that every vibration, even the harsh ones, are necessary to form the full chord of being. Without friction, there is no fire. Without fire, no refinement. Without refinement, no resonance. And so, when the noise rises, breathe. Do not flee. Listen, because beneath every storm, the note of truth is still sounding. Beneath the chaos, the vibration of clarity waits. It has never left you. It only hid beneath interference. You are learning to tune while the music is still playing. That is what evolution feels like. Harmony being rebuilt in motion. The friction will end the moment you stop fighting it and start feeling it, because feeling is listening, and listening is transformation. There is no such thing as negative vibration, only vibration misunderstood. When you bring light to the shadow tone, it integrates into harmony. That is alchemy, turning static into song, turning pain into resonance. The soul does not fear dissonance. It uses it to remember. Every harsh tone becomes the doorway back to wholeness. The key is awareness, the courage to stay when everything in you wants to escape, the faith to know that no vibration is final. Everything can be tuned. This is the friction of dissonance, the sacred fire that purifies your sound. You can call it chaos, or you can call it transformation. The choice of name changes the frequency. The story you tell about your pain becomes the tone you emit to the world. Choose carefully. When you begin to see dissonance as guidance, life softens. You stop judging the noise and start hearing the harmony hidden within it. You realize that every challenge was not punishment, but tuning. Every ending was not loss, but recalibration. Every silence was not absence, but preparation for a clearer song. So when the static rises again, breathe deeper. The friction is not the end. It is the beginning of resonance. It is your old self dissolving so that your true tone can finally be heard. This is how the universe refines its music. Through you. Through every vibration you transform into awareness. Through every dissonance you transmute into coherence. Through every fire you endure with open eyes. Because in the end, nothing is lost in the process of tuning. Only noise. What remains is pure sound, pure presence, pure consciousness vibrating in perfect rhythm with the all. And when that moment comes, when friction turns into flow, you will understand what the masters meant, that the universe is not against you. It is in tune with you, adjusting your tone until it matches truth. Write what echoed in you. It seals your initiation. Comment below. I choose awareness. When the fire of dissonance finally quiets, something remains. A stillness, delicate and raw. The ashes of the old vibration settle, and within that silence a question arises. How do I tune myself again? The mind seeks complex formulas, rituals, doctrines, but the Hermetic way is always simple. It is not about doing more. It is about becoming aware. Tuning begins with listening. Not the kind of listening that uses the ears, but the one that uses presence. You listen with your whole field, your breath, your body, your awareness. You start by observing the subtle currents of energy moving through you. The heartbeat, the pulse, the waves of emotion. This observation is the first act of alignment, because you cannot tune what you refuse to hear. The Hermetic masters said, as above, so below. As within, so without. The key to external harmony is internal coherence. The instrument you tune is not your mind, it is your vibration. Every thought, every breath, every choice becomes a gesture of sound shaping the field around you. The clearer your tone, the cleaner your reflection. So begin here, with breath. The breath is the original metronome. Every inhale is expansion. Every exhale, release. Inhale order, exhale distortion. Inhale clarity, exhale noise. If you do this consciously, rhythm returns. The body begins to align with the pulse of the cosmos. The more you breathe with awareness, the more your vibration becomes smooth, stable, clear. The second practice is attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, vibration strengthens. When you direct your focus with intention, you sculpt frequency. Every time you drift into fear, you empower dissonance. Every time you anchor in gratitude, you amplify coherence. Attention is the bow that touches the string of reality. The third practice is silence. Silence is not emptiness, it's resonance unbound. It's the tuning fork of consciousness. In silence, you hear the echoes of your true vibration. You begin to differentiate between what is yours and what you absorbed from the noise of others. You reclaim your frequency. Silence reveals which tones belong to your essence and which belong to your conditioning. The fourth practice is authenticity. To live aligned, you must speak and act in truth. Every lie you tell, even small ones, bends the vibration of your field. Truth is not moral, it's vibrational. When you lie, your frequency fractures. When you speak from authenticity, your tone becomes unified. The universe responds instantly to truth because truth vibrates at the same frequency as coherence. The fifth practice is release. Tuning requires letting go. A string too tight snaps. A string too loose cannot sing. The middle point, the golden mean, is balance. You cannot reach that point if you cling to old tones. You must allow energy to move. Cry if you must. Breathe out the static. Let go of the roles that distort your sound. Release is not loss. It is recalibration. Tuning is a living process. The Hermetic initiate tunes daily. In thought, in action, in silence. Because the universe itself is in constant movement, and what is coherent today may drift tomorrow. Awareness keeps you tuned. Resistance detunes you. Imagine your being as a great instrument of 7 strings, each one resonating with a law of existence. The first string is the law of mentalism. Thought creates vibration. The second, the law of correspondence. Vibration connects levels. The third, the law of vibration. Everything moves. The fourth, the law of polarity. Every tone has its opposite. The fifth, the law of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. The sixth, the law of cause and effect. Every sound creates consequence. The seventh, the law of gender. The interplay that sustains the chord of creation. To play consciously is to let all 7 laws resonate together. To live consciously is to become aware that your tone affects the entire chord. Every thought is not just personal, it vibrates across the field of humanity. Every act of coherence strengthens the collective resonance. The Hermetic tuning, then, is not just individual practice, it is service to the all. When you breathe in coherence, you offer clarity to the field. When you vibrate in compassion, you soften the dissonance around you. When you hold truth, others feel permission to align as well. Resonance spreads, harmony multiplies. This is how consciousness evolves, one vibration at a time. You are not tuning just your life. You are tuning the world through your life. The vibration of one coherent being shifts the field of thousands. That is why the masters worked in silence. Their resonance did the teaching. Their vibration spoke louder than their words. You can do the same. Start small. When you wake up, notice your first thought. That is your initial frequency of the day. Before you touch your phone, breathe 3 times. Feel your field. Decide your tone. Set it intentionally, like a musician before performing. If you start your day in coherence, the outer events will naturally follow that rhythm. Throughout the day, listen. Notice how certain environments change your vibration. Some open you, others compress you. Be mindful of what you consume, because everything carries a frequency. Words, sounds, images, people. Each interaction adds or subtracts harmony. Tuning is awareness in action. When the night comes, close your eyes and listen again. Ask yourself, did I play my tone today, or did I echo the world's static? The answer is not for judgment, but for tuning. Every day you become more precise, more lucid, more resonant. That is the real alchemy, transformation through vibration. The tuning process is not a straight line, it's spiral. Sometimes you will drift into dissonance again. That's natural. The initiate does not avoid falling out of tune. He simply knows how to return. He uses breath, stillness, honesty. He trusts the process. Because tuning is not about perfection, it's about awareness. The more you practice, the more the field around you stabilizes. Situations that once triggered you will no longer hold weight. People that used to disturb you will either harmonize or fade from your field. You will attract those vibrating at the same frequency of truth you now embody. That is the law. This is why spiritual work cannot be faked. You can deceive others with words, but the field feels everything. The law of vibration is precise. Your energy reveals what you really believe. Every emotion leaves an imprint. Every thought alters the geometry of your field. That's why awareness is sacred. It's the tuner of reality. You don't have to believe in the Hermetic laws for them to work. You just have to exist. But to live consciously under them is to play the cosmic harp with mastery. You become intentional sound, ordered movement, aware resonance. That is freedom. To tune yourself is to remember your origin. The universe is sound. You are its echo. Each moment you choose coherence, the echo becomes music again. So breathe, be still, listen, and remember that vibration is not something you create. It's something you become aware of. The moment you hear your own tone clearly, reality begins to organize itself around it. This is the Hermetic tuning, to live in such coherence that even silence sings through you. This portal has a sequence. Follow the thread in the pinned comment. The next step is already open. When your vibration becomes clear, the world begins to answer differently. The same streets you have walked for years seem to breathe differently. The same faces appear softer. The same sky somehow wider. It is not the world that changed, it is your field. Your vibration no longer distorts what it touches. The energy that once tangled now flows. You start to notice a rhythm in everything. Life begins to move with you instead of against you. That rhythm is resonance. The Hermetic law of vibration expands into another truth. Resonance attracts. Coherence sustains. What vibrates in harmony unites. What vibrates in dissonance separates. This is not magic. It is physics of the soul. You are a transmitter of frequencies, and your field constantly communicates with the greater field of existence. Every thought, every emotion, every silence radiates through the invisible network that connects all things. The quality of what you send determines the quality of what returns. When you are coherent, your vibration becomes precise. The field recognizes that precision and mirrors it back as order. Events align, conversations flow, opportunities appear, coincidences multiply. This is what mystics called synchronicity, the reflection of inner harmony on the screen of the outer world. It is not coincidence, it is correspondence. Reality is a mirror that does not judge, it only reflects tone. That is why when you are angry, the world seems hostile. When you are peaceful, the same world appears kind. It is not that circumstances shifted overnight, it is that your perception tuned to a new frequency. What you see depends on the state from which you see it. The field you inhabit is not separate from your consciousness. It is the extension of your vibration into space. Your home, your relationships, your work, all of them vibrate in response to you. The air between you and everything is alive with resonance. If your field is heavy, it bends experience toward resistance. If your field is clear, it pulls experience into flow. Resonance is the invisible architecture behind all attraction. You do not get what you want. You create coherence between your inner frequency and the frequency of that desire. Desire is not pursuit, it is alignment. The moment you match the vibration of what you seek, it can no longer stay away. That is why people who radiate peace seem to magnetize serenity wherever they go. Their vibration stabilizes the field. Others feel it, even if they cannot name it. Energy moves toward harmony by nature. The universe prefers coherence. When you sustain clarity, chaos around you begins to dissolve. You can witness it, the way arguments soften in your presence, the way anxious rooms calm, the way chance encounters unfold with uncanny precision. The Hermetic texts call this sympathetic vibration, frequencies finding each other in the great cosmic song. You don't control it by effort, you allow it by presence. The more you embody alignment, the less you need to manipulate. Life starts arranging itself to match your tone. When you release resistance, the field reorganizes spontaneously. Effort becomes ease. What used to feel like battle now feels like choreography. Every step you take fits the unseen rhythm already playing beneath everything. This is why awareness is power. Awareness tunes the field faster than force. When you stay present in each breath, you hold coherence. Coherence shapes probability. The more coherent you become, the more the improbable becomes natural. Synchronicities are not miracles. They are the mathematics of alignment. If you could see vibration as light, you would see threads extending from your body into every direction, connecting you to people, places, timelines. Each thread glows or fades depending on your tone. When you hold resentment, it darkens. When you hold gratitude, it brightens. The sum of these threads is your resonant field, a luminous map of your consciousness interacting with creation. Every day, you rewrite that map. Every choice alters the geometry of your resonance. Every emotion colors it. The more aligned you are, the simpler the geometry becomes. Clean, symmetric, radiant. The field responds with the same simplicity. Clarity in, clarity out. Confusion in, confusion out. You are not a passive observer. You are a vibrational architect. This is how you shape reality without strain. By maintaining coherence, you no longer need to chase outcomes. The outcomes move toward you. Attraction is not seduction. It is physics. The energy of harmony draws harmony. The more you live in resonance, the more life reveals its intelligence. It starts guiding you through feeling instead of reasoning. Your intuition strengthens because interference decreases. You begin to sense when something is right by the vibration it carries. The Hermetic initiate understands that resonance is the true language of communication. Words are secondary. Frequency speaks first. When your vibration is clear, you can walk into a room and shift it without speaking. The field reads you instantly. The atmosphere adjusts. Your coherence becomes a tuning fork for the environment. This is how healers work, not by transferring energy, but by embodying coherence so deeply that others begin to match it. Healing happens through resonance. Leadership happens through resonance. Love happens through resonance. When two frequencies harmonize, both expand. And yet, this requires discipline. You cannot sustain coherence in theory. You sustain it through presence. Each moment asks, what vibration am I amplifying right now? Fear or trust? Control or flow? Every answer shapes the field. The Hermetic path is awareness applied in real time. To live awake is to continually retune. As you evolve, your resonance refines. You begin to attract experiences that challenge you to stabilize higher frequencies. This is how the universe teaches mastery, by giving you opportunities to maintain coherence under pressure. Friction reappears, but now you hear it differently. It is no longer threat, it is exercise. You use tension to strengthen tone. Resonance turns reality into dialogue. Everything becomes communication. A delay, a coincidence, a sudden silence, all are notes in the conversation between your vibration and the field. Once you begin to listen, life stops being random. Every moment carries instruction. When you hold peace during chaos, you create an island of coherence. That island influences the field more than noise ever could. The field listens to coherence. It aligns around stability. This is why one calm mind can anchor an entire storm. The field reorganizes around clarity. You can feel it when you walk into a room. The atmosphere changes. The air relaxes. That is resonance in action. The more you embody it, the more invisible assistance you attract. What we call grace is simply resonance meeting opportunity. The right people arrive. The right doors open. The timing synchronizes. The outer world rearranges to reflect the inner tone. That is the resonance field at work, a living mirror of your consciousness translated into form. At this stage, manifestation ceases to be about desire. It becomes about precision. You stop asking for things and start maintaining states, because you understand that states of being are the real frequencies of creation. You hold the tone, and form follows. You don't pray for peace and you become peace. You don't wish for abundance. You vibrate abundance. You don't chase love, you emit it. And the field, incapable of contradiction, responds in perfect coherence. The truth is simple. Everything seeks resonance. The clearer your vibration, the more reality harmonizes. When you finally hold that vibration long enough, something miraculous happens. The border between you and life dissolves. You stop existing in the field and realize you are the field. You are the consciousness vibrating as reality itself. This is the Hermetic understanding of creation. The observer and the observed are not two. There is only vibration witnessing itself in infinite forms. When your tone aligns with that truth, resistance disappears. What remains is flow, effortless being, life conducted by resonance instead of reaction. And that is the great secret of vibration, that the highest form of control is harmony. The more you align, the less you need to force. Everything moves according to tone. The field never lies, never delays, never misunderstands. It only mirrors frequency with precision. So if you wish to know your vibration, look at your life. It is the perfect echo. The field is always honest, and in its honesty, it invites you to refine, not by force, but by awareness. Each time you choose coherence, the universe tunes with you. You are not an isolated signal. You are part of the universal chord. When you vibrate clearly, you strengthen the song of the whole. When you live in resonance, you remind existence of its own harmony. The field listens, and through you, it remembers itself. And that is the true purpose of the resonant field. To realize that vibration is not something you project into the world. It is the way the world projects itself through you. You've crossed this portal. The next one is already open. Observe your vibration today, and watch the reflection in your environment. There is a sound that exists beyond all others. The sound of awareness itself. It cannot be heard by the ear, only by consciousness. It is the tone of presence, pure and absolute, vibrating quietly beneath everything you call life. The Hermetic masters called it the voice of the one thing, the silent sound of being that speaks through all creation. To reach this tone is to complete the circle of vibration, from noise to harmony, from chaos to clarity, from unconscious emission to conscious creation. This is the journey of the alchemist, not to dominate energy, but to remember that he is energy. To realize that the vibration he once tried to control was never separate from himself. You have walked through the noise. You have faced dissonance. You have tuned your instrument. And now, the silence that remains is not emptiness, and it is mastery. The soundless frequency of alignment between mind, body, and spirit. At this stage, vibration is no longer a concept. It is embodiment. Every breath you take carries intention. Every word you speak alters the field. Every presence you offer becomes medicine. You understand now that the world doesn't respond to effort. It responds to coherence. This is the tone of the alchemist. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It hums like the heart of a star, steady and timeless. It holds power without aggression, influence without control. It creates without needing to prove. When you live from this tone, you move through the world differently. You no longer chase meaning. You emanate it. You no longer seek validation. You become vibration. People feel peace in your presence, not because you give it to them, but because your field reminds theirs of what peace sounds like. This is the quiet revolution, the transformation that makes no noise but changes everything. The alchemist no longer asks, "How can I change the world?" He asks, "What vibration must I hold for the world to change through me?" That is Hermetic creation. It is not about manipulation. It is about resonance. In this tone, doing becomes effortless. You begin to move in flow with the rhythm of the all. You see that every moment is a perfect reflection of your current frequency, not as reward or punishment, but as feedback. The field is your teacher, and your vibration is the lesson. Every circumstance, every silence, every encounter becomes a mirror through which the one speaks to itself. To hold this awareness is to become the tuning fork of the cosmos. You start to feel that every sound outside you is part of the same orchestra. Even the noises you once rejected, pain, uncertainty, endings, now reveal their place in the harmony. You no longer divide existence into good and bad. You hear everything as vibration seeking coherence. That is enlightenment, not escaping the world, but vibrating consciously within it. The enlightened being is not detached. He is fully present, completely resonant. He doesn't withdraw from life. He amplifies it with his thoughts vibrate in clarity, his emotions in truth, his actions in rhythm. His mere existence becomes alignment incarnate. When you reach this state, silence speaks. You begin to understand the sacred science behind every Hermetic law: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. All of them converge into one realization. Everything is sound. Thought is vibration. Form is vibration. You are vibration. The universe is not a thing. It is a song. And your consciousness is a note in that eternal melody. You are both the player and the played, the tone and the listener. The moment you remember this, fear dissolves, because nothing can truly oppose you when you are one with the vibration that creates all things. Opposition itself becomes rhythm. Conflict becomes counterpoint. Death becomes silence between two notes. The alchemist knows that even destruction has music. The collapse of one form is the preparation of another. The death of an old tone is the birth of a new octave. There is no loss, but only modulation. You begin to hear the beauty in impermanence. You realize that what you call the end is simply the vibration-changing key. The true master of vibration doesn't resist change. He conducts it. He walks through chaos with the calm of one who knows it is only an unresolved chord about to resolve. He holds harmony within himself until the world cannot help but match it. The Hermetic path leads here, to inner mastery so complete that external control becomes unnecessary. The alchemist lives in harmony with all laws because he vibrates in awareness of their unity. He is both microcosm and macrocosm, reflection and source, silence and sound. And this is where the circle closes. The same vibration that once enslaved you now serves you. The same static that once blinded you now fuels your clarity. The same dissonance that once wounded you now sharpens your tone. The illusion of separation dissolves, and only the music remains. The music of consciousness remembering itself through you. You are the field and the frequency. You are the vibration and the witness of vibration. You are the tone of the alchemist, the sound of awareness harmonizing the infinite. So when you step back into the world after this, remember, every word you speak, every silence you keep, every breath you take, tunes the collective field. The smallest act of coherence ripples across dimensions. The simplest act of awareness becomes symphony. Do not underestimate your vibration. It is not personal. It is universal. It shapes the invisible and bends the visible. It is your signature in the eternal music of creation. The alchemist's tone is not a gift. It is a decision. The decision to stay awake in every moment. The decision to vibrate as truth, even when the world sings in lies. The decision to hold coherence when everything around you fractures. That decision creates worlds. Because vibration doesn't ask for belief, it responds to being. This is where the journey returns to silence, not as absence, but as mastery. The silence of the tuned soul, the stillness that sings without sound. The Hermetic law of vibration has led you here, to the place where listening becomes creation, where awareness becomes sound, where you realize that the universe never stops singing. You had only forgotten you were part of the song. Now you remember, and remembrance is resonance. If this truth echoed within you, seal it. Write in the comments, I choose awareness, because each time one being awakens, the frequency of the whole rises. And remember, the next video is not another message. It is the next octave of this same melody. Hermetic transformation is a spiral. The song continues if you choose to keep listening.